Hello, lovely people, and welcome to your Daily Focus Tarot for Tuesday, the 3rd of May. We have got a lot of cards in the reverse, and I tell you, when I pick up my decks, I straighten out all the cards. I shuffle them quite a few times until I get jumpers and fallers. Just recently, we had this one in the upright. Just yesterday or the day before. This is the Heather again, number 18. And now it's upside down. And it's followed by number 19, the white poplar or aspen. And for a clarifier, we had this the other day too. You'd think I didn't shuffle, but I do. And this is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. At the bottom of the deck for this, we had Seven of Wands, Princess of Pentacles, and in reverse, the Four of Cups. Now, something is going to hit you right on the nose. Or it's going to feel like it's being right on the nose. To me, this is about you feeling locked up. Feeling like you have to defend yourself. And you have to try and gain the high ground. And, you shouldn't put off what you need to do. My candle just went out. If you need to go see a doctor, if you need to speak to a friend, if there's some chore that you're avoiding that you need to do, you need to really do this. The aspen is talking about in the fall when you get that dappled light, that mixture of light and dark. It wants you to speak up for yourself. To speak to somebody about whatever is going on and not to lock yourself up, not to feel so defensive and mistrusting. Whatever you're focusing on for your self-protection, why do you feel the need to have so much self-protection? So the Four of Cups, this is talking about wanting you to focus on reevaluating. Looking at the cup that can be upside down or right side up. Look at the cup behind you as well as the ones that are spilled and empty in front of you. And I'll flip this card over so you can see it better. Don't lock yourself up into just one position or into mistrusting everybody. Now, between trying to get the high ground and be on the defensive, and this was in the reverse, the Four of Cups, and not looking at both sides of things, we had the Princess of Pentacles. Now, pentacles are material things. Money, your house, your car, your clothes, things like that. She's not wearing any shoes, but she's definitely got this beautiful, expensive robe. She's got a comfy pajama or dress on, whatever that is, and she's got this huge pentacle. Just one of them, though. And this strikes me as a little bit of an odd situation, because here's a dolmen, and it looks like the entrance is sealed off with water. It's made of, rocks. You've got the tree for the earth here. And this is all a very, solid earthy scene, except for the water symbol here. And because this is, a grave site, and she's in her, what makes me think of pajamas, sort of wrapped up in this cloak like it would be a blanket. It's sort of making me think of somebody dying, or of like turning your back on the past, like putting it to rest once and for all in order to focus on the material, on what's going to be happening with the sunrise. The pinnacle is sort of going into the sunrise, or maybe the sun is going into the pinnacle, would be a better way of saying that. So this is going back to talking about not focusing on the defensive, not focusing on locking yourself up, and focusing more on seeing things in a different way with this contemplation. For what you should avoid, there were also a lot of cards upside down here when they all fell out. We have number 11, Moonvine. It almost looks like blueberries, but it's not. So this is talking about bringing things to completion and not being too controlling in the way that you're doing it. The sun here is on the bottom instead of on the top. And you can see here coming in from this window, the sun would be on the top if this was upright. So you want to try and unlock that bright sunshine. Try and get back into the light. And you're avoiding that sunshine. It was the same yesterday. We also had the fern alder, and it was backwards. And this is talking about whether you want it or not. You need to take the offensive. It also talks about bones and inflammation, and I'm not sure why that stood out to me. But like I said, if you need to see a doctor, you should see the doctor and not put it off. For clarifiers, we drew the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hangman in the upright, and the Tower in the upright. And the Tower, this is like sudden change that knocks you, out of your comfort zone. The Tower's pretty comforting. It's like a little fort here, high up on the rocks, surrounded by a lake. Nobody can get to it. Nobody can get to you. But this lightning bolt and this fire comes, and it knocks are they two gals? No, one is a gal and one is a guy. It knocks them right out of the tower. It knocks both halves of you for a loop. You see there's a little pathway here and a little pathway way back there that leads off into the distance. And the sun is starting to just peek up there. So you're avoiding this tower because you're avoiding making a decision, which is what the Hangman is about. He's trying to gain knowledge. He's trying to make his choice. He's basically bound himself to the tree. And, this has ties with Odin. And with getting knowledge of the runes. But it's also talking about, he's obviously not in balance being bound to a tree. Even if he gains that knowledge, even if he has that flash of insight, that sudden change that he's been avoiding, he's still bound to the tree. And behind him there's a scythe right next to the wheat. It looks like some of the wheat has been gathered, but not all of it. The scythe is just laying there while he's trying to make this decision. So it's also about productivity. It's about moving forward in time. So you want to avoid this imbalance in work and home life. You need to make this decision if you want this independence and stability that the Queen of Pentacles is talking about and showing here. She's got fertility with the rabbit and the dawn coming up. A lot of these cards, well, I suppose you could say that the sun is setting too. A lot of these cards are taking place in the time in between the sunset and the sunrise, in between day and night. And day and night are talking about, day is talking about the consciousness, and night is talking about the unconscious. You see, she's got this pentacle that looks like a drum made from skin and a bone to hit it with. But since you got this one in the reverse too, this is talking about the imbalance. The imbalance between your creativeness, your fertility, and your stability in this pentacle. Your stability in life, because she's holding that bone. And like I said, this tree, oh no, wait, not that one. The aspen is talking about bones and inflammation. And inflammation, if you don't know anything about it, it's caused by an imbalance. Too much of something or too little of something else. So, you're trying to avoid making this decision, and you think you need to avoid it in order to try and keep this stability and this bad balance. You're trying to be too controlling, and you need to avoid being too controlling, being too locked up. You need to think about it, reach out to people, and that's what you should be focusing on for today. I hope you can resolve this situation soon. Take care of yourself and have a great Tuesday.